Have you ever wandered into the Eno River Farmers Market on a Saturday morning? If so, Jennifer Perry and her table of colorful crafts might be a familiar sight. What is probably less familiar is where these treasures actually come from. Jen started her alpaca farm in November of 2012 with just 3 animals. It has since expanded to include 10 alpacas, 125 chickens, 2 dogs, and a guard llama. The farm is run completely by Jen and her husband Joe as a soothing activity for her to come home to after a day's work as a medical device engineer. Jen always dreamed of living a farm lifestyle with lots of land, animals, and time outdoors. Alpacas were the gateway to fulfilling that dream. While the animals are bred and shorn for their fleece, to Jen, the alpacas are more pets than anything else. She has trained them to be comfortable around people and affectionate towards her, traits which cannot be taken for granted in these animals, and she shares a unique relationship with each and every one. Jax was the first alpaca born on the farm, and in a loving tone, Jen jokes that he is the ugliest and therefore won't be bred. Pixie, by contrast, has won many contests for her beautiful fleece. She is calm, loving, and not at all shy. At first glance, alpacas might seem like the most photogenic pets. Just don't ask them to smile for the camera. Recent additions to the farm include Mission and Recon, 2 9-month-old Anatolian Shepherd pups. Jen says, watching the dogs grow up and bond with their herd has been incredible and something I still marvel at when I see it in action. The dogs have their own special relationship with Jen as well, and from their demeanor you'd never guess that they were brought here as guard dogs. But these guys can definitely make noise when they have to. They were initially brought to the farm to chase away foxes that were preying on the chickens. Jen sells fresh eggs from her 125 chickens each week at the farmer's market. The birds are entirely free range and enjoy roaming the farm from dawn to dusk. Keeping foxes away from chickens is one thing, but alpaca farming comes with a whole different set of unique challenges, the most notable being that the animals have only been in the United States for 3 decades, so there isn't the same history or study that has been done on cattle or sheep. As a result, Jen has had to figure many things out on her own, such as finding an appropriate vet to check on the health of her pregnant females, and how to keep the fleecy animals comfortable and cool in the North Carolina summer heat. Sometimes there's no way to avoid the stress from an unexpectedly hot day, and it brings about the early arrival of a baby alpaca called a cria. Thankfully, with Jen's care, the baby is happy and healthy and learning to stand his ground in the real world. At only 1 day old, before even having a name, the new cria leads the pack. A huge responsibility for owners every year is getting their animals shorn, a process that can appear brutal and a bit of a shock to a new viewer. Shearing is actually entirely safe and comfortable for the animals when done correctly. For an alpaca farmer, shearing is one of the most exciting days of the year. For an alpaca, this is not always the case. Shearing is carried out by trained professionals who have to restrain the hesitant animals to keep the shearers from causing them harm. They remove inches of fiber from the alpaca's coats, which go directly into vacuum-sealed bags for later use. Removing the fiber keeps it from matting and causing discomfort, and leaves the animals cool for the upcoming summer. In the end, they are thankful for the haircuts. Shearing is a community event, and farmers from around the region will help each other out with the big day. Jen cites this sense of community as being one of her favorite aspects of having alpacas. At the conclusion of shearing, it is back to the farm for another day's work, this time involving creating crafts from the newly shorn fleece. Turning raw fiber into something usable is not as straightforward as one might expect. After the fleece is washed, a machine called a picker separates clumps by dragging the wrong material around a board of carefully arranged nails. The fiber is then rapidly spun through a machine called a drum carder, which arranges fibers so they are all going in the same direction. The process is slow and arduous, as only small clumps of fiber can be processed at one time. Jen felt some of the fleece after dyeing it, which entails repeatedly sticking the material with a pin and forming it into various shapes. Felted fleece can be found on her farmer's market table in the form of flower magnets and colorful casings for soaps, functioning as a built-in washcloth. Jen and her animals have a beautiful symbiotic relationship. They give her fiber and she feeds them. She loves them and they provide wonderful companionship. At the end of the day, they take care of each other, and the bond she has struck up with each and every one of her animals is irreplaceable.